Hey, what's up everybody? It's Swain here from Always Only Jesus. I'm so glad that you've made your way to the channel and to see this video today. I hope it's going to be helpful to you. Roll intro. In 2017 and a bit of 2016, I really believed and felt like God was leading me to a point to do a study in, or to read through some of the Gospels. Because I really felt like at that point where I'd known what I believed and I love Jesus and I've been a follower of Christ for a long time, but I really wanted to get to know Him even more. And this idea came through searching and looking around about Always Only Jesus, how in all the decisions and all the choices that we have in life, that our life would always only be about Jesus. And so I decided I'm going to read through some of the books, and I got Matthew and John, and I just started journaling alongside of it, some of the scriptures I was going through, and I wanted to go through really, really slowly to really get closer to the person of Jesus and to learn more about who He is and how He lived, so that I could be a better follower of Jesus. And so what I'm going to talk through in the next couple of videos is that I thought I'm going to take you through that journey that I went through, and hopefully for me, I'm going to relive parts of that journey and bring and new things are going to come to mind. But I hope and I pray that some cool revelations are going to come your way and help you with breadcrumbs to follow Jesus in your own life and to be wowed again by who He is and what He's done and the life that He's called us to lead. And so I'm just going to share some of those insights with you, and we're going to track through in some videos. I don't always know how it's going to look, but we're going to work through Matthew and John probably. And I'm excited for the journey. And so just to kind of start off with was when we look at the Bible, and sometimes we read the Bible and the stuff honestly isn't that interesting sometimes. Especially when you get to genealogies. And genealogies is really like, this person was the father of this person, was the father of this person. And honestly, sometimes it can go on for what seems like days and days and days with very little insightful information into it. But genealogies are so important because it gives us an idea of historical accuracy, number one. But there's always sometimes like a few nuggets that you find in the genealogies. And so when you turn to the book of Matthew, the very first page of Matthew's gospel, Matthew's eyewitness account of the life of Jesus, we see that a genealogy starts, and you see like this person was the son of this person, was the son of this person. And what's so incredible about that genealogy is that generally women never make their way into the genealogies. But here we're starting out with the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. This is His line going all the way back to Adam and Eve. That's so incredible, What we see in His line is all these incredible people. You've got kings, you've got farmers, shepherds, poets, mighty men of war. You also find a list of women. 5 women's names pop up in this genealogy. And just to share a little bit about His genealogy is that, there were righteous people and like evil people that were in Jesus' line. But even the mention of women is so significant because they normally weren't included in the genealogies. So we've got people in Jesus' line like Tamar, you've got Ruth, you've got Rahab, you've got Bathsheba, and you've got Mary, who was known to be the mother of Jesus. But just out of some of those names is that some of them weren't even Jewish. Yes, Jesus had foreigners in His line. How awesome is that? I love it because it means that not necessarily everybody has to fit into a particular mold to be included in the line of the earthly Jesus, in the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And the line that He was born into wasn't just of royalty, but was even people who found themselves in poverty, people who found themselves with a crazy history. If you think about Ruth was married to somebody else. She was a foreigner, yet she was a woman of incredible integrity and followed her mother-in-law, who was a Jewish person, who moved back into Israel. And she served her mother-in-law faithfully, and she got connected with Boaz and married Boaz. And absolutely incredible story there. In Jesus' line was Judah, Now Judah had 3 sons, and 2 of them were married to Tamar, and they both died without leaving any children. And so instead of giving her to the 3rd son, he kind of just pushed her away silently. But then she pretended to be a prostitute and actually slept with Judah. I mean, how crazy is that? But even she was included. And I believe that she was a person of incredible sense of justice, you know? Then you've got Rahab, incredible woman of faith again. But she was a prostitute in Jericho. Yet she provided a way to hide the Israelite spies who came to her house, and she let them out of her window and left a scarlet material hanging out of her window, so that when the Israelites walked around the city of Jericho those 7 days and everything came crashing down, everyone in Rahab's house was safe and secure. And I'm not even go on to the others, but what is so incredible about this story, about all these ladies and how they're woven into the scriptures, is that they might not have had the most, righteous or faith-filled history. They may have been prostitutes, they may have been foreigners, they may have a very colorful lifestyle, yet they were included in Jesus's line. And that is an incredible honor. It's an incredible grace. And what we do see in their life is that God's grace was at work in their life, and they had faith to believe in God. They had faith to believe in His ways, and they did whatever they needed to do in order to follow Him and to be faithful to Him. And I don't want to go into too much detail about the genealogies. I just wanted to encourage you with this one thing. Sometimes when we've grown up, playing sports or playing some sort of a team sport, when you've got 2 captains and all of a sudden they start choosing people, and you realize very fast that the longer it takes for you to get chosen, you almost become the grudge choice at the end, like that last person. Okay, fine, you'll take them. The amazing thing is, it doesn't matter what our ability is, it doesn't matter what our history is, it doesn't matter how colorful our past is. God has chosen each and every one of us to be included in His family. He included these people in His genealogy. And so Jesus has come to draw anyone who is far from Him. He chooses people to be part of His family for all of eternity. I love it because it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if you were a king, if you were a shepherd, if you were a prophet, if you were a poet. Doesn't matter if you were a foreigner, doesn't matter if you were a prostitute, it doesn't matter if you were forgotten. God has not forgotten you. God has chosen you specifically by the gift of His grace to draw you near into His family line. That for all of eternity, you would be part of God's family. Sins forgiven. In fact, cast into a sea of forget. And what I want to leave you with today is that let the knowledge of that you don't have to be someone who performs. You might feel like you're pushed aside, or you ostracized, or you've disqualified yourself on the basis of your ability or on the basis of your track record to be a follower of Jesus and to be a co-heir with Christ, to be a child of the living God. You've disqualified yourself. Well, I want to tell you that God doesn't disqualify you on the basis of your past, but He qualifies you on the basis of His Son. And in the same way that these women and these people had faith in God, all that you need to be in the family of God is to have faith in Jesus Christ, and that He would bring you near, that He would wash you clean, He would choose you and accept you and love you like no one else. And so as we think about this, I want you to remember what God has done for you. I want to encourage you to be grateful that you and I both get to be children of the living God by the grace and the gift of God through His Son, Jesus Christ. And if maybe you feel like, hey, I've drifted away because of all that I've done, now's an opportunity for you to repent and to turn back to God and to say, God, I'm so sorry for what I've done. I want to change my direction and I want to follow you. And I want to be your child. I want to do my best to be who you've called me to be. And in the next couple of videos, we want to keep talking about the breadcrumbs that lead us into this always only Jesus lifestyle. That we're not perfect, but we can do our best each and every week to take one step in a positive direction to be a follower of Jesus Christ. And again, our eternity is not based on our works, it's based on our faith in Jesus alone. And that's why the Bible calls it a gift. So remember this, that Jesus embraces our brokenness, heals us and restores us to make us children of the living God. I hope this has been an encouragement to you, and I look forward to seeing you more in the next video. See you next time. Boom. Roll intro. Roll intro. Roll intro. Roll intro. Roll intro. Roll intro.